Alright, welcome back, guys. This is Mr. Day. We are doing Chapter 7, Lesson 4 today. So let's go ahead and write this up in our notebooks. Problem solving, we're going to be working backwards today. So we're going to be looking at the end to kind of see how do we solve these problems. And that's exactly our objective. I will solve problems by working backwards. Let's take a look. What does this mean, this working backwards? So we have our first scenario set up. It says that a club raised $125. Let me get a red pen so we can see it easier. $125 to buy and install birdhouses at a wildlife site. So each house costs $5. And to rent a bus, it costs $75. So the members can travel to the site to put up the houses. They want us to figure out, all right, how many boxes can they buy in all? So this is how much we raised. It's what we're starting with, right? This is the cost of the houses, and this is the cost of the bus. So let's put down, what do we understand? How much is available to buy and install the nesting boxes? So we are starting with how much money? It's this amount, right? We are starting with $125. Each box costs how much? That's what we have over here. Each box costs $5. And the bus costs how much? That's what we put over here. It is $75. So how many can the club buy? What is our goal? We want to know how many boxes, how many birdhouses, right? How many birdhouses? I guess I shouldn't use a capital there. How many houses can the club buy? That's really what we're looking at. So let's plan this problem backwards. So let's think about it. All right, so we're starting out with $125. Right off the top, we need to subtract 75. What's the 75 for? It's for the bus, right? So we got to get the people there before we can install the birdhouses. So if we subtract 125 from 75, we get what? A grand total of $50 left. So from the starting with 125, we got to pay for the bus. We got to get the people there. So it leaves us $50 left. So how many birdhouses can we put in if we only have $50 left once we pay for the bus? So 50 divided by 5, that is a total of 10. So we can put 10 boxes can be bought or purchased. So let's go ahead and take a look at our next sample. Again, working backwards to solve the problem. So in this case, it says Mr. Evans bought the items listed. He had $5 left over. So that's a big clue right there. How much did Mr. Evans have to start with? So we know how much he ended up with. We don't know how much he started with. That's the working backwards. He ended up with $5. So what did he buy? He purchased these items right here, right? He bought some toothpaste, he bought a toothbrush, and he bought some floss. And it gives us the totals right here. $4, $2, and $1. So what do we know? We know that he ended up with $5. Right? That's how much he has left. And then these are his purchases. And I'm just going to write purchases. So he made some purchases. Toothpaste, toothbrush, floss, right there. And what do we need to find? We want to know, what did he start with? So money he started with. How much money did he start with? So how are we going to go about solving this? So if I know how much he had left over, and I know how much he purchased, how do I go about to figure out what he started with? Again, this is a working backwards. Instead of finding out how much he has left, we need to know what he started with. So if I take and I add all of his purchases, Let me change color so you guys can follow me here. So if I start here with all of his purchases, right? His toothpaste, his toothbrush, his floss. So let's go ahead and add those together. So it is $4 plus $2 plus $1. And I take all of his purchases. That's all what he purchased. That's this. And then I need to figure out, all right, he has $5 left. So after his purchases, he had $5 left. How much did he start with? Well, now we just got to do the math. So 4 plus 2 plus 1, that's 4, 6, 7. 7 plus 5. So he started this whole process with a grand total of $12, right? He made $7 worth of purchases, the toothbrush, the toothpaste, the floss, and then he had $5 left over. So he started with 12. All right, let's take a look at this problem here. It says students sold raffle tickets to raise money for a field trip. The first 20 tickets cost $4 each. To sell more tickets, they lowered the price to $2 each. If they raised $216, how many tickets did they sell in all? All right, so what's the first thing we know? They even say first, right? So the first 20 tickets that they sold were at $4 a piece. So we can go ahead and write that down as an expression. So we have 20 tickets, and they sold that for $4, right? That's how much they originally started with. Now, while we're working backwards here, we know at the end we have $216, right? Oh, and why did I put an equals there? So, how much was that? Oops. How much was that? That was a total of $80. And they raised $216. So if they raised $216 and they initially sold $80 worth of tickets here, right? So, how many tickets did they sell? Well, they sold 20 tickets here, and we ended with $216. So how are we going to figure this out? Pause the video. Go ahead and think about this for a second. See if you can solve this on your own and then come back for the solution. All right, figure it out? Let me go through the process with you. So we know, again, these 20 tickets for $4 a piece, that's a total of $80. So, if they raised a grand total of $216, again, working backwards, then they lowered the price to $2. So, if they raised a grand total of $216, and we need to subtract that from the 80 that they sold up here, that's going to give us, what is 80 minus 16? That is, what, 136? So $136. Now, how did they raise the rest of the money? Well, they raised the rest of the money by selling it for $2 a piece, right? So that the remainder of what's left over, this 136, they raised that by selling it at $2 a piece. So how many tickets is that? So I need to take what was left over, that $136, I need to divide that by 2. That's going to give me the number of tickets. I don't need to know the money. They want to know how many tickets were sold. So of the $2 tickets, how many of those were sold? Because I know 20 of the $4 tickets were sold. So 136 divided by 2, what does that equal to? 2 goes into 13 6 times. It leaves 1 left over, so a grand total of 68 tickets. Is that the answer? No. That's how many of the $2 tickets were sold. So I have 68 tickets here, and I have 20 tickets here. So if I add these two tickets together, That's going to give me 20 plus 68 for a grand total of 88 tickets. That is the question that was being asked. 88 tickets. That was a toughie, wasn't it? Hopefully you were able to get that answer. All right, so let's take a look at this next one. I'll read this with you. Allie collected 15 more cans of food than Peyton. Ling collected 8 more than Allie. Ling collected 72 cans of food. How many cans of food did Peyton collect? All right, so let's first write down our information. And I'm going to abbreviate this. We're going to put A for Allie, we're going to put a P for Peyton, and we're going to put an L for Ling, okay? So when we write this down, what do we know? All right, so we know that Allie collected 15 more cans than Peyton. So I'm going to put Allie was plus 15. She had 15 more than Peyton did. And Ling had 8 more than Allie. And we know that Ling collected a grand total of 72 cans. Now, what do they want to know? They want to know how many cans did Peyton collect. How many did Peyton collect? All right, pause the video. See if you can figure it out. We have what we understand. We know what the question is. See if you can solve it. And then come back for the solution. All right, were you able to solve it? All right, so let's discuss. So if we know that Ling, again, we're working backwards. If we know that Ling is equal to 72, well, if I add this 72 to 8, that's going to give me how many Allie has, right? So what's 72 plus 8? 72 plus 8 is equal to 80. That's how much Allie has. And it said that Allie collected 15 more cans than Peyton. So if I put that 80 for Allie, she collected 15 more than Peyton. Well, that means if 15 more than Peyton, that means I would have to subtract that 80. Oops, didn't write my 5. So that means Peyton would have 65 cans. Hopefully you got that one right. That was a tricky one. All right, let's skip ahead to number 10. Go ahead and read that problem, solve it, and then come back for the solution. See how you're doing. Go ahead and pause the video now. All right, so it says admission to a car show costs $5 for each ticket. After selling only 20 tickets, they decided to lower the price. Hey, we've had a problem like this, lowering the price, huh? If they raised a grand total of $217, how many tickets did they sell in all? Again, we're on another tickets. So, $5 for each, $5 for each ticket, selling for 20 tickets. So how much is that? So if we're selling $5 and they sold 20 tickets, that's a grand total of $100. So I need to take $100 away from their total. So let's take that $217 and subtract $100 from it. So that leaves a grand total of $117. Now, after that, they decided to lower the price to $3. So how many tickets did they sell? That remaining $117 then, I need to take that 117 and divide that by 3 to figure out how many tickets they sold. So let's go ahead and divide this. 3 goes into 11 3 times. That leaves me 2 left over. 27 divided by 3 is 9. So it's 39 tickets. But again, if you remember, that's not my answer. That's just how many tickets they sold at the $3 price. How many did they sell at the $5 price? Well, it said here they had 20 tickets. So I need to take that 20 tickets and add that. add that here. So I need to take the 39 and add that original 20 tickets to it. So they sold a grand total of 59 tickets. That is our answer, 59 tickets. Hopefully you were able to solve that. Think these problems through, following those steps that we outlined in the beginning of the lesson. That's what we're working on. So let's go ahead and advance this. Let's take a look. What did we learn today? So, working backwards. Sometimes the best strategy to solve a problem, a real life problem, is to work backwards. We know what we have at the end, so how did we get there? What did we start with? So that's some of the thinking that you have to think about. So in summary today, I learned how to think a problem backwards. Solving the problem backwards to forwards in order to solve the problem.